Hello there. In this section, I really want to get into the breath and the importance of it, because for me, what I'm sharing with you, the techniques that have helped me completely cure my body and all the ailments I explained to you about in the introductory video. For me, the breath is 90%, maybe more. You set the pose carefully, you use the breath respectfully, not fearfully, respectfully. You have to respect your limitations, and you're going to allow the breath to get the chattering, as I've said before, monkey mind out of the way, and allow your magical mind to create new space, if you like. I know that's not exactly the best creative word, because you're not going to create space in the body, but I'm just using the term, So, and allow you to have the mobility, flexibility, fluidity and freedom you had when you was younger. Like when we were teenagers, we'd bounce around and we'd fall over and we'd roll around, and we could, when we were toddlers, we could sit like this. I never dreamt 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I'd ever be able to use my knees like this again. I did 20 years of yoga, okay? Yoga never realigned my hips. Yoga gave me my bad knees. One of the leading yoga teachers in the world, who I will not name, I've said it before in the past, I won't name, probably feeling what I want to, because probably I'm scratching myself. It's like a nervous twitch that people do when they're thinking about something else. He, in a very famous, I will say this, a very famous New York yoga studio, when yoga first became famous, I'll just say it like that, okay? He ripped my knees doing what's called an adjustment. And then when it's hurtful, they put it down to an opening. I'm not even sure if he knew what the piriformis muscle is. That a prerequisite to opening up the knees is having open hips, so it doesn't put the strain on the TFLs and then further down the leg, the whole chain. My knees, look, they're perfect. You can't do this with your knees if they're not imperfect. You don't have perfect mobility of them. I do. I can sit here, I can put them up here like this in half lotus if you want. I'll put it into full lotus, but I'm just sitting here in an adapted pose here that I find very comfortable, because I was sitting here earlier and doing what I call my attitude of gratitude in the mornings, where I focus on things I'm grateful for. And I just felt the inspiration to make this video right now, because I'm not a professional presenter. I've said that to you in the past. I'm just here to share the stuff. I'm going to say it, to share the shit. That's how I talk. To share the shit that works. It works. It's amazing. It's miraculous. I did this because I had sciatica. I fixed my sciatica through doing these relaxation poses. I had over 30 years of experience. I thought, hold on, the answers have to be in me. If I go to a doctor's going to do like he did to my best friend Julian, or my other friend Christian. He can give them drugs. That's what they do. They give you drugs initially. Okay? I don't want drugs in my body. I want to fix my body. I found out, when it was sciatica, my thing was two things. I was a bit overweight, and it wasn't through fat, it was through too much muscle. I could become a gym rat. I'd stopped doing yoga, I went to the gym, I put on about 40 pounds of muscle, and it was too much. One day I jumped off my barbecue and I thought, woo, I felt like a gorilla as opposed to the little chimp that I've been all my life. Then I'd also been on a run. I was in training for this event, a charity event that I was doing. It sounded a bit corny, that, didn't it? Charity event. But anyway, I did, and I was running with a 50-pound pack on my back with boots and all that, going through a midlife crisis, didn't buy the Porsche, thought I went to the show, I could do my same stamina as I did when I was in the army when I was 17. I put it down, the first bout of sciatica, it's because you're carrying a 50-pound pack and you're nearly 50 years old. Fool. But then about a week later, when I was painting, I paint on the streets. Not on the streets, I paint sitting on milk crates with a milk crate in front of me, and I paint to tourists, okay? That's what I've done all around the world for the last 25 years. And so I'm huddled over. The muscles in here, I go into it, they're called the psoas muscles here, they become shortened. Not actually shortened, but they don't have, they've got tension in there because they're huddled up. Same the piriformis muscle in the back. That's what causes the sciatica. I knew all this. I had anatomical studies I've done before, courses that I've done, and I knew all it, but I just sort of, you don't pay attention. You think you're invincible until something happens. Until you lose your health, your body attacks you. There's no stimulus to do it, because we're all, we're going to live till I'm 1,000. Obviously not that, but You get the point. We all think we're impenetrable until we get penetrated. Then it's too late. You know, it's like with young kids. They think they're the best drivers in the world till they crash. You know, my body attacked me with sciatica. It scared the living hell out of me. I got up from the bench and my legs went from under me. And I was in public and I thought, whoa. Then 10 minutes later when I was going to get my keys from the valet, and Big Mike from New York was in Vegas at the time. I used to live in New York and he was like, we're friends because even though I'm English, I'm a New Yorker. And he went, yo, give me my keys. And as I went to reach, my legs went again. And he was like, bro, what's happened, bro? What's happened, buddy? Jeez. Anyway, and with a group of people, it's embarrassing. But at the same time, you feel so vulnerable. And any of you guys out there that have had bad back pain or sciatica, you know what I'm talking about. I got nothing since because it's simple. Well, it is simple if you know about anatomy. It's simple. You've got the longest nerve in the body that runs down the leg. It's called the sciatica nerve on both sides, right? Starts from about L5 at the back. It is L5 at the back, okay? And then it goes down all the way down the leg. It runs next to a muscle called the piriformis muscle. Now in the West, we sit in chairs. I do it in the sciatica section, but I quickly do it in here, right? And it shortens or creates tension in there, so it rubs on the thing, and it causes immense pain when we don't have natural thing. Now the way to do that, I'm supposed to be talking about the breath here. So anyway, I realigned that. And the way I did was because in yoga, you'd hold a pose for maybe a minute at the most, sometimes 2 minutes, right? In some classes a lot longer. Okay, in some classes a lot longer, okay? But unless you're doing these poses like this, relaxation ones, you don't have half a chance. I tried 20 years of my hip. This is from fixing my sciatica. I then got into these poses. I used them. Some of them I learned from a friend of mine called Lucas. Some of them that I've used adapted from yoga. Some of them I've come up with myself. You know, I've got them from various sources. But the thing that's the most important, the poses are secondary. The most important thing that people do not teach and share is the breath. Because you can know these poses, you can get them, you can go and do these poses that I show you. But as soon as the brain, you go in and go, oh, it hurts, you're going to give up. So you're never, ever going to break through. The most important thing is quietening the mind. I've studied yoga for 20 years. I've been in the breathing with the yoga breath. And then I did pranayamic breathing with a guy, amazing teacher from India who's been studying it for over 60 years in India, Tiawariji. Incredible man. I had the honor of learning from. An amazing teacher. I've also learned from Wim Hof, who's some of my friends thinks is the nutbag. He's amazing. He's called the Iceman. Google him, Wim Hof. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. He's also, they're rewriting the books on physiology because of him. He has learned to control his parasympathetic or involuntary nervous system, or if you want to be trendy, the PNS, okay? He's put in an ice bath. SBS, Special Boat Service, the SEALs, they're putting things in environments where it's extremely cold. I think, you know, you can't control your body with hypothermia. This dude can, and he's done it with other people that he go on his course. I did his course for breathing, you know, to increase my breath because I was terrible at scuba diving. I always suck air. My mate Brian would tell you on that one, right? He taught me scuba diving. I was an air hog, even though I was super fit at the time. You know, I was super fit, yet I conserved, gulped air. I could only hold my breath for 45 seconds. But doing that course, 5 minutes 20, sorry, I'm lying to you, 5 minutes 10. The first time I looked at my iPhone and saw 2 minutes 20, I thought I'd fallen asleep, or my iPhone had broken, or I'd time travelled, or I'd slowly suck some air in. It's incredible. So I've done all of these courses in breathing, but I've come up with my own technique, like a hybrid of some stuff I've learned, okay? And it works for me. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not telling you to go through your pain. I'm telling you to listen really carefully of what I'm saying, because obviously for legal reasons I can't tell you to do these things, because, you know, you can end up not listening to what I'm saying. Your demons take over, you know, your monkey mind takes over, and you can injure yourself. So whatever, I can't be responsible for your actions. That's what I'm saying, okay? I'm just saying to you, it worked for me. I know it's worked for others. It's worked for my mum. It's worked for Julie. It's worked for a lot of my friends, okay? And that's why I want to share it, because it's like gold. This shit works. I'm sorry to swear, but it does, okay? If you go to your doctor like here, they're going to tell you, there's 7 sources. My ex-girlfriend told me I needed an operation. No, she didn't tell me. That's a lie, actually. She didn't tell me I needed an operation. She's a therapist, by the way. She said, you can't do the exercises you're doing because they will damage your knees. You have to back off from the pain, okay? That's like somebody telling me, when I go on a run, I say, it hurts when I run. Oh yes, Simon, you shouldn't do that. Your lungs are going to blow up. Your heart's going to stop. Your capillaries are going to burst. Because that's how they feel when you go on a run. Tell you what, you go and join the parachute regiment, you put a pack on your back, and it's a pack on your back, or the Marines, or the US Marines, or the US Rangers, any extreme elite unit in an army, or even if you're just an out-of-shape guy and you're doing basic army training, you tell me if you don't think your heart's going to blow up. All those incredible things that everybody seems to get because they don't use their tibialis flexors, right? They don't use them, they're underused, and they go off and they do a run and they run and get these things called shin splints. Oh, my shin splints hurt. And all the people whose monkey minds are in charge, they all leave. You don't see them on passing out parade day. You don't see them following through. I can put my hand on my heart and say, I did one of the toughest courses in the British Army, if not the world, and I didn't get back squatted. I was a 17 stone, not 17 stone, that would be an elephant. I was a 10 stone, 140 pound weakling, and I got through, because even then I had the foundations of getting my mind in the right place. And this is the technique I'm going to share with you. I know I've really gone on about this because I'm very passionate. I know it works. I'm not a snake oil salesman. I'm not selling you anything. If you've bought the course and you're watching it because this is included in the course, you've already bought it. If it's YouTube, of course I'm selling the course, but I know what I've got is genuine. I know it worked for me. I've seen it work for my family. I've seen it work for my friends. I teach 65 to 102-year-olds. Sorry, 102. I was thinking of a bike speed I did once. That's another story. 102-year-old John. It's amazing. It is incredible. But they only do chair exercises like that, and they do little stretches like that, releases like that. Sorry, I said stretches. Anyway, I know it works. So let's just get into it now, right? I know I've taken my time. I ramble, I go on because I know it works. And I want to share this with you, and I'm really, really passionate about it. Well, you can see that. So, all right, my technique before was really simple. Almost like when you dry breath in Ashtanga, but in, fill yourself up, get it out. Like an unwanted guest at a party, like crap in your garden, like a gold that you're getting out of a mind face, and you throw it out, right, onto the thing. Okay, as much as you can, throw it out. But be respectful to your body. But I changed that after doing Wim Hof's course, because my flexibility with after Wim Hof's course, really, it was incredible the way that he teaches as well. He's an amazing teacher. I now breathe in respectfully. I don't go try and burst things. When I feel comfortable, I feel my limitations though. If it's the back and it's the piriform, oh my God, my piriformis hurts. That's the monkey mind, right? Own that negative stuff. Own those limiting beliefs. Own that limit of your body and breathe it out. It's that simple, okay? If you're focused on the breath, nothing else can be in your mind. If you hear a thought coming in, that negativity, breathe it out. When I was fixing my knees, okay, the pain was immense. It was incredible. And every session, you learn to get rid of more of that pain because there is disharmony. There's a war going on in your knees, okay? And the only choice you have is to fight the good fight. I know it sounds crazy what I've just said there, but there's the only way. If you back off and allow whatever in your knees to take control, to take root, that will be your future. That will be your destiny. Your destiny is either two ways. It's either positive or negative. The positive is freedom, like this, like I've learned, because I went through the negative. You've heard that expression, when you're going through hell, keep going. Trust me, get through the other side. The other side of hell is what? Heaven. Whether you believe in God and all that kind of stuff, I'm just using the words. That's all I'm doing. I'm just using words that we all know. Heaven and hell. I don't want to live in hell. I was living in hell with my knees, with my hip that was in there for 35 years that popped out. I thought, oh my God, my hip's fallen off, my leg's fallen. It felt like it. But all that happened is it popped out, it went back to its normal range of motion. Now I've got normal range of motion in it. Look, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, my flexibility. I'm 52 years old. I'm in the best shape I've ever been. I'm completely I flop around now like a teenager again, like a toddler. You can do it too. But you've got to get rid of that monkey mind ruling you. Your magical mind must rule. Again, in Asia, what they do in meditative practices, they quieten the mind. One of the first disciplines that a lot of meditative schools will teach is to focus on the breath. Or they'll teach you to look at a candle or a single point. Why? Because if you're looking at something and you're fully focused on that thing, not ADHD type focus, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I'm going to ring that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to look at my Facebook. Not like that. Focus fully on the breath, focus fully on the candle. There's no room for other thoughts. And when they come, they're weak. They don't empower you. Just let them go. Just say next in your head. When you hear a bad thought, say next. No, thank you. No, thank you. Like you're ordering off a menu. You're in your favorite restaurant and money is not an object. The thought comes, don't want that. It's like a bad dish. A bad thought is like a bad dish. The mind will teach you. When you do these poses, you're going to get such beautiful, inspirational things that come to you. If, like me and all the other people, it's similar to yoga, but it's, in the way. That's why so many people love yoga, because when you take time out of your hectic day and not have to care about the bills, not have to care about what the kids, not have to care about the school, not have to care about work, not have to care about whatever it is that you care about in the day, because we all have to do it. We're all humans. We all have that thought. We control that chatter, that noise, and through focusing on the breathing 100%. Breathe in, find the limitations, hear that chatter, hear that noise, get rid of it. Breathe in, find the limitations, get rid of it. Now there's a new space. Quickly own that space. Feel the limitations, breathe out. Let's do one, I'll show you, look. I feel it all here. I'm stiff in the mornings, but I breathe out. I even feel pain in my knee now, but I'm not letting it rule me. It's just a thing. It's, watch. This is my stiffest side, this one here. And I'd stay there for 3-4 minutes, sometimes 5. You'll get to a point, trust me, at first it's going to feel horrible, at first it's going to feel so bloody painful, but if you have the courage, the conviction, the commitment to see this through, you're going to be in such an amazing place. You're going to get fluidity, flexibility, confidence, your sexual energy will go through the roof. So many things, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. There's treasure within you. I'm not going to say you again. I had buried mine, okay, with a lifetime of subconscious things that I've stored in my subconscious, negativity. And by doing this, with the breath, each time a negative thought's there, your limitation, your boundary, throw it out like an unwanted guest at your party, okay? Or another one that I do, I think of miners, helpful miners that are going inside me and they're clearing out all of the mess, all of the residue. They go in, they go to the coal face, they cram it out, they go out, they throw all the crap out. Just a little kind of imagery I use sometimes, okay? Other times I use the same imagery that I spoke to before, what I call the airborne attitude. I can, I do. I can, I do. I can, feel the limitations, feel the boundaries. I do. Own that new space. From that new space, that new area. So I'm not saying like this, because I've seen this, well, I've seen some people do as well. They go, own it, feel it, breathe it out. Then they go back to where they started. It's kind of a bit, it makes it difficult. You got to go You can't keep going up and down. You've got to go, own it, where all the limitations are, breathe it out. Remember, you're in a new space now. Feel that limitation. Own it. You created it. You get the picture. In, own it, breathe it out. In, own it, breathe it out. In, own it, breathe it out. Like unwanted guests in the party of your life, in your body, that have invaded your body. It's just negative thoughts over the years that we've allowed. We had a shoulder injury. Oh, that's going to be as far as I can move my shoulder now. Bullshit. It's not. It's just we've allowed it, okay? I did it with my shoulder. I did it with my hip. 35 years that hip, from when I was 12 to when I was 47. It was through doing these relaxation techniques that I've employed and to help me. What I was thinking was helping my sciatica, and my hip popped out, and now I've got perfect range of motion in my hip. My knees, as you can see, are in a marvelous shape. My left shoulder now has complete range of motion. Okay, I'll tell you why, because it was all out because of this. I don't know if you can see that. My collarbone, I'll show you another time, but look, I don't know if you can see that. My collarbone's completely whacked from a snowball injury, and I kind of hold it and it created this thing in my shoulder, and I said that was just it. It's old age, it's because of this. I've got perfect range of motion in my shoulders, complete range of motion in my shoulder, my whole body, because this works. And the only way you're going to break through, let's go back to the basics again really quickly. If you go on a run, okay, and you want to improve your times, and you come to a bit where it hurts, because it will hurt, and you give up and you don't break through, you're never going to improve. It's like learning something at school, a new language. When you get maybe a multi-syllable word, in Spanish, and you can't pronounce it, and you give up, how are you going to learn Spanish? You wouldn't do it, huh? So the thing to do is to always break through. And the way that I've done it with myself, and I'm recommending that you try it. I'm not saying you do it, because legally I'm sure I'm not allowed to say it, okay? Because people will be suing me, and I lose everything that I have, and because I'm not telling you to do it. I'm telling you, I've done it. It's worked amazingly for me. I've shared it with my mum. I'm not going to put my mum wrong. I shared it with my best friend Julian. I shared it with my best friend in Thailand, Guy. And you've seen him on the thing. His back was like a U. That's in 2 sessions. You want to see him now? He had the worst shoulders, the worst tight hamstrings, because I use intelligence. I understand the body, how it works. I'm not going to ask you to do a balance and do stuff I see the runners stretch. They all do it in the gym. I'm asking you to focus on the breath, because for me, the poses are 10%. The breath is 90%. The breath is your friend or it's your enemy. Depends on how you use it. And you have the power in your mind to use it correctly. Remember again, breathe in, feel your limits, feel your negative beliefs, own them, hear them, get rid of them. Say next, not that one, thank you. Remember, fancy restaurant, you have unlimited funds in your pocket. You can order what you want. You don't like the dish, get rid of it. Remember, anything that doesn't taste good, get rid of it. Get rid of it with the out breath. That's what I invite you to do. If you're watching this video because it's on, you've already bought the course, I thank you from my heart, and I hope you share it with your friends, not for free. If you're really broke, I don't mind if you do. If you can afford it, please, you tell your friends to buy it, because I need money like everybody else needs money. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to find out any more information, please visit my site, www.freedomthroughflexibility.com. I hope in some way this makes sense to you. If it does, leave a nice comment on there. If you've got nothing nice to say and you just want to say negative things, please go and troll somewhere else, because it's just not nice, and it will come back to you in some way or form, down the road, So if you've got something nice to say, something positive, or something critical but constructive, I'd like to hear that as well in the comments below. So either way, hit the subscribe button, and I hope in some way, this is my mission, that it's done something good for you, or you've found some nugget of truth in here, or something positive that's going to empower your life and enable you to make the breakthroughs in your body that you want to do. Okay, that's my dream, that's my mission, that's my goal. As simple as that. Hand on heart, hand to God. Okay, anyway, lots of love, Simon.